Hey friends, welcome back to Kathy's Country Life. I'm so sorry I didn't upload last week. To be honest, it was my first week back to work. I was exhausted by the time I got home, and we ate freezer meals the whole week. So, yay for freezer meals. I should do a jingle. They are a lifesaver, and I'm going to have to do a new batch here coming up pretty soon, because we put a dent in them. So today I had all these plans. I was going to do all these. I still have my Christmas stuff sitting in Rubbermaid containers and boxes at the bottom of my stairs that I have not taken up and putting away yet. And I planned on doing that. I was going to do a deep clean, and I got to binge watching on Netflix Wednesday. Have y'all seen it? I really, really liked it. It gave me those Harry Potter vibes, and I'm not mad about that. So, most of the morning I have binged watched on Wednesday, and I finished all 8 episodes and can't wait for the next season to come out. But this morning, for supper tonight, I did go ahead and mix up some no knead artisan bread, and got it all mixed up, and I've had it sitting on my counter, rising and fermenting for dinner tonight. I'll insert a video right here showing you how I do that. The recipe for my no knead artisan bread: add 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. I'm using active dry. Give it a whisk. Add 2 teaspoons of salt. I am using pink Himalayan. Whisk together. I've got 1 3/4 cup of warm water. I'm going to add all of it, and I'm going to reserve some just to make sure. If I need less water or more water, you never can tell. You want this to be a wet, sticky dough. And I'm going to need more water. It's very cool in my house. Oops. So your water content definitely varies according to your temperature and humidity. I am going to need more than the 1 3/4 cup of water, so let me get some more. That's about a 1/4 cup. And I think that this will do it. So 2 cups total of warm water. And that's all there is to it. So it's been sitting over there. It's getting all bubbly and fermenting and rising. Looking good. I'll show you that when I get ready to bake it up. And also I had a really small pork tenderloin. We like the Mississippi pot roast, but I'm doing it with a pork tenderloin. We like it just as well with pork as beef. So I did that, and I'll insert a video here showing you what I put in there in my crock pot and let it cook on low all day long. Okay, I have got a pork tenderloin in my smaller crock pot. This is a smaller pork tenderloin, and I'm going to get this started this morning for our dinner tonight. And what I add to, this is called like a Mississippi pot roast, but it's made with a pork roast. I'm going to generously season my pork roast with some salt, some pepper, And then I have just got the ranch seasoning mix. And then mine has begun to clump up. So I'm going to pour some of this in my hand and break it up. I don't have measurements. I just stop until my soul says to. But I want to cover it real well. I would say this is a good 2 heaping tablespoons of ranch mix. And then to this I'm going to add pepperoncini peppers. These are the rings, not the whole. And I'm going to add probably 1/4 cup of these, and then a good 1/4 cup of the juice, and a 1/2 stick of butter. I normally, for a bigger pork roast, I do a whole stick of butter, and of course more of the other ingredients. But I'm going to pop this in my crock pot and let it go. And this is going to be part of our dinner tonight, along with the no-knead bread. I've got it on low, and I'm just going to let it go all day. It's 9:15 in the morning, so this should be good to go by the time we eat dinner. Dinner, supper, I don't know what you call it. I've always called it dinner, and my husband calls it supper, and lunch is dinner to him. That's a southern country thing, I guess. I don't know, but I've always just done breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He does breakfast, dinner, supper. What do y'all say? Okay, I'll be back later. Also, what I got going this morning in my big roaster pan is I've got 2 whole chickens seasoned with salt and pepper. I'm going to let that boil up until the chicken is cooked, and then I'm going to pull off the chicken from the bone, and we're going to can up some chicken this afternoon, and then I'm going to use the broth to make some chicken stock. And so here they are. They've been sitting here kind of cooling, and what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get the meat off all the bones and jar them up, and we're going to can some chicken. This is a great convenience item. When you need it, it stays good, you know, on your pantry shelf for years and years and years, and so easy to take out if you've got a casserole to mix up, if you need like shredded chicken for a Mexican dish, anything like that. It is delicious. It's not something that you like take out and grill it or, you know, anything like that, but like in recipes, it's awesome. So I need to get the meat off the bones into my jars, into the pressure canner, so I can get the bones and carcass back into my chicken broth to make bone broth out of it, or stock. I guess it's like stock. So I'll bring you down here. We're going to pack these jars and get them into the canner. Okay. I like to do, when I'm taking the meat off the bones, I like to do bigger chunks. It doesn't seem to like cook to death and fall apart in the jar when you do that. So I do like to keep them kind of in bigger chunks. Of course, according to how you pull it off, you may get a smaller chunk, and that's fine. I have the only meat really that I have not experimented in canning is ground beef, and I'm going to be doing that too this month, because when we bought that half a cow and had it processed, you get a ton of ground beef. So I thought it'd be a good idea to get several pounds of that out and can it up so it can be shelf stable and not go bad, you know, end up getting freezer burn, which I think that will probably use it up before it ever gets to that point, but I would like to have some. That way you've got already pre-made ground beef that you can pull out for recipes, for tacos, nachos. You just have to season it up to whatever recipe that you're doing. I've also had some dental problems, and all week I have suffered with a tooth that I had broke, the pain, and had a root canal done yesterday, and it's a little tender. I had oatmeal for breakfast, and then I had some cream corn that I had done for supper one night, and I had some of that left over, and I ate that. Kind of just going to stick to some softies. Of course, tonight's dinner, it's not going to be softy, but I can chew on my other side very carefully. Okay, I'm going to get these filled up with the meat. It'll take me a minute to get all the meat off of it, and then I'll be back with you. I'm back. Okay, what I got was 3 quart jars from those 2 chickens. I went ahead and put the carcasses in my stock. And this is what I got left, which is fat. The wing fat is so hard to get off, so I just leave it there. And this is just a bunch of fat. I try to get off as much fat as I can. I don't want any fat going into my jars, and I wanted the least amount of fat I can get into my stock. So I try to pull off as much fat as I can. Okay, we're going to fill these up. You don't want to pack these down really tight, because that liquid has got to be able to move around in there during the pressure canning to kill any bacteria, especially when you're canning meat. You have to be very, very careful of that. So you don't want to tightly pack this all the way up to the rim and then add some liquid, because the middle is not going to reap the benefits of the pressure canning. So I'm going to take my lid off my stock that is going, and I'm going to add some of this into my jars. Careful not to get, what I did was I have been saving my onion peels, my carrot peels, carrot scraps, onion scraps, and I had some celery scraps that I put in here. I'm trying not to get in, oh, I'm just messy today. Try not to get any of the sediment that's in there. Probably need to go put some spray and wash on that before oil sets up. I have the worst time with oil being on my t-shirts and not coming out. Do y'all have that problem? Especially those comfort color t-shirts. I know I'm not the only one that has problems with that, because me and my friends talk about it. I'm not going to add any salt to this, because I heavily salted and peppered the chicken when I put it in my roaster to cook. And I'd rather be able to taste as I go along when I'm making a recipe with it to see what seasonings it might need. Okay, I'm trying to get it up to a little more than a ½ inch, just till the chicken is covered nicely. I'm going to give it a debubble stir. I've got water in my canner. It's on low, just heating up. Now the broth is hot, but my chicken was not, because I had let it set and cool down so I could handle it. You want to work all the air bubbles out. Okay, and I have got a little thing of white vinegar and a paper towel. You want to make sure that you clean these rims really good because this is, you know, a greasy mess. And you don't want grease settling on your rims where your lids will not stick. And I like using wide mouth jars on things like meat and stuff because it's easier to get it out. Soup, stuff like that, I don't mind using a regular mouth lid, but for stuff that's big and chunky, I always like to use wide mouth. Ooh. This one just didn't feel like it went on very secure. Let's see. Go. Okay, bring it over here and we'll put it in the pot. And I really hate to get my canner out for just 3 jars. It's okay. I am going to fill up a couple of jars with just water to sit in here to kind of balance it so these don't just go jiggling all around during the process. Okay, I got 2 jars of water, and I am lidding them and ringing them because this will be sterilized water. Once it goes through the process, it's going to be sterilized, and if I ever have to add jars like this, if I can remember, I will make sure I lid them and ring them with new lids and everything, and then I'll just stick these in on my canning shelves, and you've got sterilized water just in case. So if you ever have to do this, you know, if you need to fill in 1 or 2, do that. Stick it on your shelves, and for whatever reason, if you need sterilized water, you've got it. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat up. Put my lid on. I've got, I don't know if you can see out through here, I've got my crock pot with my pork roast, and then over here is my bread that's fermenting. I'm trying to find my arrows. I have the hardest time finding my arrows. Okay, so what we're going to do is, once this starts blowing steam out of the vent, starts venting steam, we're going to let it go for 10 minutes, and then we're going to put the weight on it. We're going to bring it up to 11-12 pounds of pressure and let it go for 90 minutes. For quarts, any meat, you have to do it for 90 minutes. And just to show you, here's my stock. It's got everything in it now. And I will let this go till tomorrow afternoon at least, or tomorrow evening, and then we'll can it up. And it's delicious. I love making bone broth. I use it so much in recipes, and I love being able to go back to my shelves and pull out a jar or 2 of my homemade stock that I know what's in it, and I don't have to, because I always bought those like cardboard cartons of the broths and stuff, and I so enjoy not having to do that anymore. Okay, so while that's going, I'm going to turn it off, and I'll bring you back when that's all canned up. And let's see. And we'll probably, about that time, we'll go ahead and get started on our Knead Artisan loaf. That's some good stuff, y'all. Y'all are gonna love this. Okay, guys, we have been going full steam ahead for 10 minutes. I'm gonna put the weight on, and I'm going to let my gauge get up to about the 11-12 pound mark. And then I will keep an eye on it. I'll have to turn the eye down to keep it at that. But once it hits the 11-12 pound mark, I'm going to start my timer, 90 minutes, and we'll be back when it's ready. Hello, I'm back. I changed shirts because I had splattered that greasy chicken stock stuff on there. So, the canner is done. It's coming down from the pressure, and we'll open that up in a little bit and see how that looks. But I want to get started on my bread. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cast iron Dutch oven with the lid on, and I'm going to put it into a preheated 425 degree oven and let it sit there and get hot for 30 minutes. So I'm going to go do that. Okay. And here, I'm going to bring it down here so you can see the dough. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3. It's got, but this dough's been going for about 9 hours sitting on the counter. And I don't know if you can see, but it's big and it is bubblicious. It's been fermenting, it's been getting airy and light. And, oh yes, and it's sticky. This is a sticky dough. So what we're going to do is I am going to flour my surface. I'm going to flour my hands. And we're going to pour this out. Now this is a no knead bread, so I'm really not going to be kneading it. I'm just going to turn it. Turn it. Turn it. Turn it 4 times. Let me get my dough scraper. Okay. While this, let me make sure I got, yeah. Just making sure I've got enough flour underneath it so it's not going to stick. And I'm going to take the bowl that I had it rising in, and I'm just going to place it over it while my Dutch oven gets hot. And I will bring you back when we're ready to put it in the oven and bake it. It's going to be so good. Okay, time to get the chicken out. Looks great. Then my water. Like I said, I'll just put this in the pantry, and there's some sterilized water in case we ever need it for anything. But looks good. I'm gonna bring you down. Oops. To see it. It's beautiful. Okay, the bread is out of the oven. Oh, it looks heavenly. Listen. Okay, guys. Tonight's dinner is the Mississippi pork roast, my canned baked beans, and a piece of the no knead artisan bread. Yum yum. Thanks guys for joining me. My husband's sitting here staring at me. Thank you for joining me again today. I appreciate you, and my next video I'm going to be doing some clarified butter, some ghee, canning that up, and a sore throat tincture to keep in your refrigerator. So I hope that you come back and join me. Again, thank you, thank you. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button and like. I appreciate it so much. Thanks again, guys. Bye.